Welcome back. We're taking a live look at our nation's capital as the FBI is searching for a wanted fugitive involved in the January 6th Capitol riots. The FBI is offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Jonathan Pollock. He's one of a small number of people who fled after being charged in connection to the riots. The 23-year-old from Florida is accused of assaulting multiple police officers with a deadly weapon. According to court documents, coworkers say Pollock bragged about his involvement after coming back from D.C. But a few days later, he allegedly claimed he had a family emergency, left, and never came back. The FBI has been trying to arrest him since June. Pollock is accused of punching two officers in the face, kneeling on an officer, and dragging an officer downstairs. Also in D.C., a Republican congressman from Nebraska has been found guilty of 3 felony counts. Representative Fortenberry was charged last October for concealing information and making false statements to federal authorities. He announced his resignation Saturday. Fortenberry sent a letter to his House colleagues announcing his plans to step down effective March 31st. The Nebraska congressman was convicted on Thursday for lying to investigators about illegal campaign contributions. Fortenberry is facing a prison sentence on 3 felony counts related to taking money from a foreign national Friday. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy all called for his resignation. A special election will be scheduled to fill Fortenberry's seat in Congress. And meanwhile, a bill that could stop trade with Russia is in limbo. House Republicans blocking the Democratic effort to pass the bill ahead of the weekend. GOP Senator from Idaho, Mike Crapo, objected to the bill, saying that it needed to include a ban on Russian energy. But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the ban is not needed. Schumer also adding that the Republican proposal could delay Biden's already existing Russian oil ban from going into effect. And in Eastern Europe, tensions are rising as the Russian invasion on Ukraine carries on. But support for the Ukrainian people is pouring in from major countries and companies, most recently FedEx. A joint operation by FedEx and nonprofit Direct Relief sent emergency medical supplies and disaster relief to refugees in Poland Saturday. The FedEx plane took off from Memphis with 76 tons of medical and provided by Direct Relief. That aid includes emergency supplies and much-needed medicine for the 3 million refugees fleeing Ukraine. And on to updates on the war devastating Eastern Europe. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky emphasizing Ukraine's need for more weapons, especially planes and tanks. He says the West needs to continue to send aid. ABC's Ty Hernandez has more.
As Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues, President Joe Biden with some choice words for Russia's President Vladimir Putin.
He's a butcher.
Those remarks as 2 Russian missiles rocked the western Ukrainian city of Lviv, hitting a defense facility and an oil depot. ABC's James Longman is there.
This is an oil depot. You can see the flames there burning. This city was meant to be a sanctuary for thousands, and now it feels like the war has come to them.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continues to stress his country needs more weapons, calling for 1% of NATO's arsenal. Saturday's attacks on Lviv, less than 50 miles from Ukraine's border with Poland. President Biden wrapping up his high-stakes trip on Saturday, visiting Poland's capital, Warsaw, and sitting down for his first meeting with Ukrainian officials since the Russian invasion began. He also reassured Poland's leaders, saying the U.S. has an obligation under NATO rules to defend its allies.
A sacred commitment that relates to every member of NATO.
The president spent part of the day meeting with Ukrainian refugees before addressing a large crowd and issuing a warning to Putin.
Don't even think about moving on 1 single inch of NATO territory.
Then saying this:
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
The White House later tried to clarify those remarks, saying the president was not calling for a regime change in Russia. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
And as President Biden returns to the nation's capital, his other half coming to Kern. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is expected to arrive in Keene tomorrow. She's set to attend a U.S. citizenship naturalization ceremony in honor of Cesar Chavez Day. And by the way, when she does come into town, well, it's going to be raining. And remember how we said it may rain, 90% chance? Well, it's definitely raining. We're looking at 100%. So sorry, Dr. Joe Biden, the First Lady of the United States. It may rain on us, but you know what? We're going to have umbrellas. We're going to make it work because this is a very historic day, especially with 31 people being naturalized. As we go on into the week, we're going to start our week off with a little bit of a relief from that rain. On Tuesday, 20% chance there, no chance of rain on Wednesday. And then we're looking at a 10% chance there on Thursday. After that, though, it's gone hopefully for a bit because, Monday we're going to get quite a bit of rainfall here. And how much are we getting? Well, first off, it's going to start off with some gusts here tonight. Definitely be wary of that if you are driving out there. It's going to go from the gusts to this wind we see right here. On the valley floor, we're seeing anywhere from about half of an inch of rain to a little bit over an inch of rain there in Arvin. We're going to go up to an inch, a little bit over an inch there in Fraser Park and Lebec. And then in our deserts, you guys do have less rainfall coming your way. We're looking at about less than half an inch of rain, especially California City. You're only getting about 0.1 of an inch of rain. Not too bad whatsoever. Well, as we go on into the week, like I mentioned, this is what the storm is going to look like for us. So we will see these chances of rain. I did explain those inches to you, so I'm just going to move on here and go into our week forecast. So here in the valley, we're looking at it starting in the mid 80s today. So for that Bakersfield Marathon, or if you're trying to maneuver your way through downtown, it's going to be nice and warm for us. But tonight, those winds will pick up and then we may get the rain. And then as we go into Monday, definitely, no doubt, 100% chance of rain there. That's what the National Weather Service forecasts. 68 degrees. Tuesday, Wednesday, it will be in the high 60s to low 70s, 20% chance of rain. Thursday, it may rain. It will be a high of 60. And then we're going to stick in those 70s. So Friday in those mid and Saturday in the high 70s for us. So as we go on into the week, we're looking into our mountains and we're seeing a similar fluctuation of temperature here. High 70s to start in Lake Isabella, Tehachapi, and Fraser Park. You're in those 60s. And then as you go on into the week, that rain may come your way. 80% chance, 100% chance in Tehachapi, and definitely chances of those winds as well. So definitely you may get slapped with the winds and the rain at the same time. As we go on into the week, we'll be in those high 60s, eventually in Lake Isabella in the low 70s, and Tehachapi and Fraser Park in the 50s, and then you'll eventually go back up into those mid 60s with sunny skies. And going for the gold on 23 ABC, yes, we're talking the Academy Awards. Details on the stars hitting the red carpet and when to tune into 23 ABC to catch it all. Plus a deep dive into the Latinx creators getting recognition for their contributions to the big screen. That and more after the break. Well, welcome back. Today is basically a holiday for us entertainment buffs. The red carpet is rolled out across the Dolby Theater to welcome and showcase Hollywood's biggest and brightest. And in just hours, we'll find out which stars are taking home the coveted Oscars gold. After a 3-year host hiatus, this year's show returning with history-making 3 female MCs, Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer, plus a possible big win for deaf actor Troy Kotsur. He starred in Coda, which is up for Best Picture and Screenplay, and he's favored to win Best Supporting Actor, too. He's the second deaf actor to be nominated for an Oscar, and Marlee Matlin, who plays his wife in the film, was the very first. And keeping with those Academy Awards, one Oscar nominee, Ariana DeBose, highlighting a significant number of nominations that are either Latin subject matter or nominees of Latin heritage. In a recent Instagram post, she says, so basically the Oscars are going to be a spicy and passionate event this year, with more than half of Kern County identifying as either Hispanic or Latin, according to the U.S. Census. I wanted to hear from our very own Latin leaders and educators about why they think this is important.
Don't talk about Bruno.
The talk of the town, how Encanto was Oscar nominated in 3 categories. Yvette Moreno, alongside her colleagues, is up for the animated feature Oscar, Jermaine Franco for original score, and Lin-Manuel Miranda for Dos Oruguitas is up for an original song Oscar. Latin filmmakers dominating the animated feature nominations in general.
I believe that we can be unified again, but someone has to take the first step.
Alongside his colleagues, Carlos Lopez Estrada for Raya and the Last Dragon, Phil Lord and his colleagues for The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Hugo Covarrubias and Tevo Diaz for Bestia in the animated short film category. Katie Davila is one of the nominees for Please Hold in the live-action short film category.
Behold the mysteries of the universe.
And Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley is even up for Best Picture. Dr. James Rodriguez, Dean of the School of Social Sciences and Education at CSU Bakersfield, says that those off-screen are just as important in, quote, moving the needle, end quote, for representation.
So the Oscars provide an opportunity for us to see people who are doing the work behind the scenes. And this is really important because there is so much that occurs in the work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and our efforts to be more connected with each other.
That's not the only Latin representation in the category. Best Picture nominee West Side Story spotlights the story of Puerto Rican Americans.
Thank you so much.
And speaking of West Side Story, Arellano DeBose is up for Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal of the iconic Anita. She's already dominated award season, taking home a SAG Award, BAFTA, Critics' Choice Award, and a Golden Globe for the role.
Grandpa Fred was wrong, Lucy!
Plus, Javier Bardem could win his second Oscar for Best Actor Sunday. And in the nomination for Best Actress, you'll even find Spanish actress Oscar winner Penelope Cruz for her starring role as Janice in Parallel Mothers. Co-founder and executive director of the Dolores Huerta Foundation, Camila Chavez, says this representation is important.
I think it's great that, in Hollywood that we have more representation of the Latinx community because the reality is that we are the majority in this state. And so, yeah, we should really be reflective, not only, on the screen, but also on decision-making tables, right? Our city councils, our board of supervisors, school boards.
Well, what is your favorite Oscar-nominated movie? You can share that on our Facebook, 23ABC Bakersfield, and be sure to tune in to watch the Oscars tonight on 23ABC.